Hello. Now I've just been streaming for 24 minutes into the void, and I had to start streaming because I've made a discovery. And this is quite messy now because I wrote this while streaming, but the stream I forgot to start up YouTube, so it was never saved. Anyway, I'll have to go through it again. I'm focusing on AI by AI development. Actually, maybe I shouldn't stream this. Maybe it's too secret. Maybe I should just make a recording. What's the point of streaming it? There's no point in streaming this. If I could have some AI experts in the chat who could tell me feedback, then yes, there would be a point in streaming. Or I could just be honest. Yeah, that's the thing. Being true and honest, because this is probably a little insignificant thing in the universe. Anyways, I wonder if I should. Yes, I'm gonna take a photo of this and I'm gonna redraw it in a better way. And faster, because I'm gonna look at this video tomorrow to remind myself of what's going on. I'll probably not need to, because these are things that are so important, that are like things are clicking into place. Okay, there's a photo, it's uploaded. Now I just need to see. I actually didn't need to upload it, just need to have it here. Actually, yes, I need to upload it because I need it on the big screen. Come on, why is it not loading? Okay, there we go. I need to move my screens around so I can see it. Okay, good. I'm not just gonna show you what I discovered. It's gonna be a little bit more historical than that. I'm gonna talk how I came to the conclusion, because that sets a good foundation and also helps me remind to not get distracted by the wrong goals that I've had before. Okay, how far can I draw? Here's the limit. Basically here. Yes, it's... Oh, it seems to be a little bit slanted. Okay, whatever. Okay. I have been looking at practical solutions to make... I need a new pen again. I just picked this one. Did I write so furiously that the ink just disappeared? I'm gonna save this pen for a while. It might recoup. So we're gonna go slightly back in history. Before yesterday, last week, I was working on my root. I call it what should I call it? I don't know. I called it root theory. It's basically a system where you have a root goal, and the root goal is making a game, in this case making my game. And in order to do it, it's too hard to give directly to an AI at this moment. Or you can if you have enough money, but I cannot. Maybe if I had 100,000 I could just give this goal. And well, actually no, I don't think any AI is available to be able to do it at this moment, but in a half year, definitely. Anyway, so it's divided into sub goals that should be easier to achieve. And if these goals, like making a game is a big thing, this making the game mechanics for the game, let's say, also too hard, so that is divided into more sub goals that are smaller, that an AI might be able to handle. And same with this one. Let's say this goal is to, actually let's do like this, and say this goal is to write a script. Godot script. We'll just do like this. Okay. This is a leaf goal. An agent gets assigned to it with very specific. A specific model is chosen. Not a general model, a coding model, and I couldn't find. Oh, I'm going ahead of myself. Okay, anyway, so last week I came up with like this whole system, and it's gonna take a long time to just think about this, and I don't know if it would work. And in a couple of weeks, there will come a bunch of AI tools soon that probably will make all this work obsolete. So it became too much, like over engineering instead of just making the game. And then I thought maybe I'll just make the Stadium game instead. Which is a Godot game. Yeah, and then so this is what I have been done recently, the recent days. I didn't have a plan for June, and I need to hit the deadline. And I was thinking, okay, how can I plan so I actually finish a game by this time? Yeah, I cannot focus on AI theory. I gotta get down to business, more of a business mindset, where I'll just make more. And I'll make more mistakes, but since I'm making so many things, I'll eventually succeed. And I just scope everything down. So basically, I looked at the timeline, like I have 4 months basically, with the first month being June. And then, okay, I need a plan for June, so I need to think about how do I fit everything into here. and came up with the big iterations of 2 months for one iteration of the game. And then I zoomed in like business practical into June, and the most important part in June is to plan, what did I call it? Full game plan. And then I was thinking, I was zooming in a bit more, like this is just part of June, and then zooming in even more in order to make, let's give boxes here. Part of June would be to make this full game mechanics plan. So then I started to make that whiteboard there, which I listed all the features. In the center is game mechanics, and then it has 3 branching. It has, these are the point and click, and these are the driving mechanics, and down here are groundhog mechanics. This isn't figured out yet, but driving and point and click is straightforward. It's mechanics that existed for a long while. So for game mechanics plan, I was thinking, in general, I need to finish the Godot stuff. So I was thinking, for example, I wasn't thinking specifically on one part, but let's focus point and click. I wasn't specifically thinking like this. I was in general thinking of both point and click and driving and stuff. And then I was thinking, well, actually, those are the 3 mechanics there. I was thinking of them simultaneously, and I was realizing that the plan will contain like a list of features and all of the architecture, which are the files. And I was thinking, what kind of files do we have? And then I realized it's basically one part are scripts. Maybe you'll see where I'm getting at here, but one part is to generate a script, and without realizing it, I was thinking, okay, how can I make this script? And then I was talking to Gemini, because I want AI to write these scripts. And I was saying, like, if I have a full game mechanics plan with lists and architecture of these files and folders, and these kind of documents need to be created, what kind of model, local model, I was asking now, because I was researching what models I can run locally for free, no API key or whatever. And I was looking at Unsloth, but Unsloth requires a slightly better computer than I have. And talking back and forth, I realized that the best model that I can run for creating Godot scripts is this model here, Qwen 2.5. Oh, it's dash coder colon 3b. And apparently this one has some troubles at generating some Godot code. It mixes up some versions, so it hallucinates a little bit. And then I was thinking, okay, how can I, now I was starting to thinking in this way without even knowing it. How can I was utilizing my knowledge from here. How can I minimize the context so it can get a task? Because it can get a task like writing a whole feature from the feature list, like make a car that you can drive with 3 arrow keys, and then I would manually check, okay, did it create the right script? Does it contain the right things, or scripts, several scripts and model and etc. And if it failed, I would have to divide this into sub goals, which are easier. One is maybe an object accelerates if you press one button, and the other one is an object turns if you press these buttons. And that's an easier task, and maybe it would succeed with that. And if it wouldn't succeed with that, like this is a whole feature of several scripts, and these are like one script each, one file each. And if it can't succeed with that, then we just go with a partial script with just a function, and we just go down this ladder until Quen can handle it. That's it. And somewhere there I realized I'm doing this, but I'm doing it from the bottom up instead of top down. My previous work was to make a root goal and then figure out, like, have a whole system. Like, together with AI, we wrote this, which are, it's a whole book. It's 2 things. It's the theory behind it and an example system, practical system of it. And it has a lot of requirements, and it's an extreme complexity. It makes it tired just starting to read this, and I can read a couple of pages, like 3 pages per day, and it's, I don't know, it's 100 pages, I don't know how many it is. And it's just too slow, as I said before. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. But so I realized that I am basically focusing on the leaf node instead of the root node. And this script is basically, yeah, under point and click or whatever, we need a spec. Here. Now I'm connecting it. Spec. Specification. Then is sent to this AI, which is local, focusing on one goal, which is practically in this case it's Quen. Well, I don't want to connect it like that, but it is Quen. And if it cannot handle this goal, then I'll make a sub goal, and somehow I'll change this to a spec goal, and or something like a, I'm not sure exactly how to do it, but I manually take on this role. So I noticed that making the Godot game is basically this. And the overlapping part, which is essential to making the Godot game, is me as a human working with one leaf agent, leaf executor, which is in this case a coder agent. yeah. And yeah, one thing more regarding dividing it up is that it's not only that Quen succeeds, is that it succeeds 100% of the time. That's the goal. That's the goal. If the task is so incredibly super mega simple, super mega small, then the local model can do it. So the goal is to make the task is so incredibly small and simple that the selected model succeed 100% of the time, 100% of the time, 100% success. And now, going into this and connecting it to a bigger picture. Now, I call this method of going from the leaf goal to the root goal, or not, I don't know if we're going to the root goal, but the human is trying to move upwards and trying to replace itself, its past self, gradually, because once this script agent is done and it can do things, then the goal becomes to automate the writing of the specs. And here we come to the next part of a focus team. A focus team or an executive team or whatever, just focus on two levels. One parent goal and the children goal. And the team AI contains of a set of AI models. A plan agent that can think about the big goal and might make a specification and maybe do other things. And then a QA or tester, or maybe they use test-driven development. And then a coder agent that can actually do these child goals. And then probably some more. And what I realized that what I'm doing is basically, as a human, I'm taking the part of the planner, of the QA, and the rest of the models, except the coder agent. So I'm doing one AI first. And this is I call it, I don't know if it exists somewhere else, but I call it AI by AI. Automation or development. AI by AI automation. Something like that. By basically, as a human, govern an AI that can do a very specific goal good, and you review it and you take all of the other AI roles until it performs like 100% of the time. Then you don't need to improve it anymore. Then you can think about making the next AI by AI. So that might be the planning to write the spec, or it might be the QA agent that does the test-driven development, that writes tests and tests the code, etc. I don't know it depends on what the priority is. So overall, that's the focus now. I'm focusing on this overlapping part, which means that the work I'm doing now is essential for my potential AI future career or success to build superintelligence, and it is one essential step of making the Godot game. It is a leverage task, because even if I just get this part done and don't get any other agents done, I can use this system to make all of the scripts for the game and iterate, working with AI to make the scripts. I'm gathering this, I think long-term wise, I want to gather a kind of understanding on how to write specs for this specific model, Qwen 2.5-coder column 3b. 3b. So that it gets to 100% success rate. Whenever I create a goal for it, it should succeed. And I know how these specs are written. Yeah. That's it. Now I hope I have successfully streamed that. Seems like so. So yeah, I will be able to use this stream for me tomorrow. I can watch this video tomorrow. So because I wanted to record this when I had this idea now, in order to really remember it tomorrow, so I can focus on it and build upon it. And I can also take this video, like the video link, and send it to Gemini or any other AI, and they'll get the transcript and they can basically help me develop this very easily. Like tomorrow, when I use Gemini or whatever to make this system, I don't have to write the prompt. I can just send the link to this video and it will look at the video, not look at the images of the video, but it would read the transcript of everything that I've said. So, okay, goodbye.